emergency duty team, the go-to people for any child who was placed into local authority care out of office hours. Not that this child, or rather teenager, had just come into care. Helena Curry went on to explain that the girl, whose name was Keeley, and who was 15 years old, had actually been in care since she was 10. "She's run away from her foster family, basically," she said. Her voice sounded tired. "Was picked up by the police a couple of hours ago." "Oh, dear," I said, imagining this most complicated of scenarios. It was dispiriting enough when a child entered the system in the first place, but there was an added sadness when a child was already in the system, particularly if they'd been in care long term. "You tried to stay optimistic, but experience had long since shown me that a downward spiral could so easily happen." "I know," Helen agreed. "She refused point-blank to return, and when they tried to insist, she made quite a serious allegation against the male carer. So here we are, in need of alternative accommodation, and with specialist carers, which you and your husband, of course, are." "Ah," I said, trying to work out what this might mean for us. "So it wasn't just a case of fetching up at W for Watson, then?" She laughed. "Not in this case, no. No, given the circumstances and the length of time the girl has been in care." There was a pause. It felt a pregnant one. "And from what's on her file..." I was impressed. This was what should always happen, obviously, when emergency carers were sought, but in my experience, often wasn't the case. "So, just temporarily?" I asked. "In the first instance, yes, just for the weekend, though you don't need me to tell you, assuming she's not going back, that specialist carers such as yourselves will be sought, so she could be our next long-term placement," I finished for her. "Exactly," she said. "So, are you happy to take her?" "Yes, of course," I said, looking at Mike for a confirmatory nod, which he gave. We'd been talking about our next placement only the other day, as in who, and most importantly, when it might be. With the school summer holidays done with, I was getting itchy fostering feet. "I'll call my link worker and leave a voicemail for him to ring me in the morning. What time were you thinking of?" I added, glancing at the clock on the mantelpiece. It was already nearly 11:15. Helena explained that Keeley was still with the police, but they were ready and waiting to take her anywhere it was decided she was going to go. "Certainly within the hour, I'd say," she finished. "And do you have any more you can tell me now?" I asked, thinking about the file she'd already alluded to. "Lots, I imagine, but not right now," she said. "Can I call you back once I've been back to the police and told them what's happening? Give me a chance to have a skim through and see what might be useful." I told her I'd appreciate it. Information is power, after all, and she promised she'd call back as soon as she could, and, if that proved impossible, that she'd call again first thing in the morning. "Sorry to interrupt your evening," she finished. "Hope you weren't in the middle of anything important." Mike had unpaused the telly while we'd been talking in favour of recording it for later, so I was able to watch James McAvoy smile disarmingly as he took his seat on the famous sofa. Smiling, I swear, right at me. No, not important at all, I thought as I said goodbye and pushed my mobile into my pocket before briefing Mike on the few details he hadn't already picked up.